Sorry guys, I guess this is part two, but I was trying to avoid capturing anybody in this segment because I know you have to ask for permission, and I don't have time. I'm walking. I don't even have time to even play. But anyways, like I said, my camera got cut off. But like I said, it's just very disturbing to me that my son is uncomfortable because his sister continuously got molested and by her stepfather. And people, me as a father, people, it has been telling me so many things like, oh, if this was my daughter, I'll do this. If this is my daughter, I'll do that. I would have been killed. I would have been did things, and they not realizing that I did 12 years of 5 months in prison, guys. And let's think about it. I'll really be a dang on fool if I just react off emotion. If I let this stepfather, a lot of people say this is my daughter, but really look at logic, life. I got a fiance, and I'm trying to have a family with her, so it could possibly be children on the way. And I'm going to react, and I have my own business and everything, and I'm a convicted felon, and I'm going to react and do the rest of my life in prison. Let's be real about this. I'm going to do the rest of my life in prison because of this. A lot of people say it's worth it. But if you really think about it, there's other things you could get because karma, there's other things that could happen, because of karma. A lot of people might be upset, say I didn't do it, but I did. I'm out here in the sun, filing paperwork. I'm doing the best I can. I called the police. I called the Brevard County Police, and the police is not doing nothing. I called my daughter told her story to the police. Like, I give my daughter, if my daughter was here, or if I would let you introduce you to my daughter would tell you her dad did 1,000. Because I called DCF, I called the police and everything. Police not doing anything. So a lot of people say, oh, take action in your own hand. I'll go kill. No. Let's wake up. Let's be real about this. How can you say what you would do? When you're a man of using true energy and you truly in tune with yourself, you wouldn't let nothing get you out your character. And me allowing this situation to get me out of character could cause me to lose my freedom once again and for the rest of my life after I deal with 12 years or 5 months incarceration. Let's be real about this. Let's be honest about this. Who would do that? Who does that? This is the life after prison, but I have a beautiful life, but I just got to get my kids. I stress and I get upset sometimes right now. Like I said, I'm staying home dad. I'm suffering from carpal tunnel syndrome, so I have to have surgery on my right hand, which already has surgery on my left hand. So, I'm suffering from carpal tunnel syndrome. I have to have surgery. I was receiving unemployment with the pandemic assistance. And they cut that off, and I'm only receiving $125 a week. So with $125 a week, my fiance's birthday next week, and not only my fiance's birthday next week, we have a $500 payment to pay on our reception, our wedding. On top of that, we only pay half on our rent. We have more rent to pay. We have like $400 more to pay for. Yeah, $400 more to pay on our rent. We have a light bill that's coming up. So this is just everyday life. And then now I have to sacrifice also money to go pick my children up when I do have this court date, or to go to this court date in Brevard County. I have to have money to travel with, to go to court date, and to pick my children up. Sorry, my lips dry. I only had a cup of coffee and some muffins this morning. So now here it is. You have all this going on, and you don't see how you can make it. But through it all, I'm trusting in the energy. I told my fiance this morning, I really opened up to her, and I told her, it's like, you would think one would have did something to harm themselves after dealing with so much, so much abuse when I was younger, so much abuse mentally, emotionally, physically, so much abuse, like in general, just coming up as a child and going through prison. It was like I was this person who had a job, as a teen that took care of responsibilities. And I remember my mom telling me to say, you don't have to be with a girl just because you got kids by her. She said that to say, I used to get mistreated. My children's mother, she used to put her hands on me, and I used to just laugh at her, let her put her hands on me. And I was so good to this female, to where I didn't, it wasn't so much as love, it's just I tolerated it because I didn't want my children to grow up how I grew up, like my mom and dad, fighting, me not, wanting to spend time with my dad and, have a relationship with him. I didn't want to grew up in separate houses. I want my kids to be, in the same house, grow up, mom and dad in the same house. But unfortunately, we had to, go through the things that we go through. But now that I'm able, and it's me and my fiance, I want the kids. Once you see these pictures, and even my children's mother, it's so many names. I was very upset. Even though my children's mother, she still can't take care of the children now. Like, even though she's struggling and going through that, she still won't give me my children. And it's crazy because she moved from a 1-bedroom trailer after I called DCF and the police got involved. They gave her time, and then she moved into a 3-bedroom home. So she have 3 boys in one room, and it will be 4 girls in the other room. So still, she had my son that's 14 years old and my daughter that's 15 in the room in the mix with these young kids. My daughter and my son is the oldest out of the 7. For my son not to be able to sleep at night because he's back with his mother, and my daughter is still with my aunt, but for my son not to be able to sleep at night, sorry about that noise. Sorry, it's just real life here. But for him not to be able to sleep at night, that hurts, guys. That really hurts. It bothers me to my soul, that my children experiences those things. But I promise you, for my energy, with everything in my might, I'm a determined father. I went from homeless on the streets. I went in Atlanta, Georgia. I went from different things to be to the point that I am right now, this day, and be so blessed. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on anything. I'm not giving up on my children. I'm not giving up. I'm fighting for my children. So please don't think it's not easy. It don't have anything to do with I'm a convict convicted felon. It has nothing to do with that. It has something to do with a woman being so evil that she, she take all my rights when I got incarcerated. She went for a divorce and they gave her all the rights, and she said she didn't know she had all rights to my children. How did you not know? So last night she called me. Well, she tell my son to call me after she say we should co-parent. She tell my son to call me and ask me for $30. I remind you, he go to school Monday. And after he spent 2 months with his father, I did all I can. I spent, and it ain't nothing to me. It's not nothing to me because I'm gonna spend it to my last dime. I'm gonna spend it to my last dime, and I spent all my money. I mean, I have a lot going on, true enough, but I spent it because those are my children. And everybody kept telling me, oh, don't spend money on your children. Don't spend all that money when you have them for the summer. I didn't care. And I knew that I was going to be kind of in this situation, that the unemployment was not going to last. And I was going to, but I didn't care. So, my fiance is working. Business just get, we just established the business, but we don't have all the products to keep, to get it flowing just yet. And, I don't have $30 to give my son for some shirts. But she waited to the last minute. Well, me and my fiance don't have nothing because we paid it on the rent. And we took care of other bills. And next week, the $100 and something that I get is going to all of our phone bills because I bought me and my 2 children and my fiance a phone. I leased them out under my name. So, it's been like a real, hard road for me. I got these things for my children because I wanted to be in contact with them because I know how their mom is and they're going through a rough time. But I spent that money on those phones, $400, when I could have been spent, sent my son that money, and I would hold off on a cell phone and just would have contacted them through my aunt. Eventually, or at least got one cell phone so my son and daughter could share, and took that other money and got my son the shirts. Either way it go, he would have got his shirts. But she wait to he go to school next week, and she said, call your daddy, ask your daddy for $30 for your shirts for school. So now I, don't have the money, and it hurts, guys. It really hurts because I don't have the money to buy my son these shirts now. But that's not topping that. It's not saying that I'm a bad father because, and I had to realize that because I don't have the money. Before I took this walk, talked to my fiance, I feel like I'm a bad father because my kids have everything they want. Everything they want and need, my children have. My children have everything. Whatever I got, they got it. When they was with me, wherever I went, they went. Everywhere I went, I took my son. Like, my son can't sleep right now. Can't freaking sleep right now, guys. Because he's not with me. And that hurt. This is real life situations, and I tell myself over and over again, I wish I would have never had kids by that woman. But it's no time to live on regrets. I'm just determined and I'm motivated because I know what I have to do to get my children. And I'm standing up being a man 10 toes down. And I don't care what nobody say. I made it to the place that I am right now. So blessed beyond measures. So I have to hold on and stay strong. And I know this, and this is what I know, and I'm trusting in the energy. Trusting in the energy, but I need a little bit more discipline. And that's what the first step, guys, is recognizing what do you need work on. What do you need work on? Discipline. To break, we need to recondition your mind. It is so hard getting out of prison and reconditioning your mind, guys. It is so hard. It is very hard getting out of prison and reconditioning your mind. It's been a journey for me. It's been a journey for me, but my new beginnings is just beginning because I feel it. I trust in the energy. I've been feeling it. I always knew that I was the powerful person that I am right now today, that I could create the reality and my reality around me. You know, I have did it already. I have created my reality already. I have created these things. But you know, one thing we have to do, guys, is we have to hold on and maintain a sound mind, you know, and not give up. You have to totally, wholeheartedly trust in the energy. You have to know that everything is going to pan out and work it out. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know what's going to happen, but you have to know that everything is going to pan out. You know, you can't have a negative mindset, you know, and sometimes I get the depression get the best of me, but you know, he sends someone my way to enlighten me and help me get back in line and say, hey, you know better, God, because I am a God. You know, and I create everything around me, my reality. So, you know, when I'm addressed as God, when my son tell me, he look in my eyes and he tell me and say, Dad, you an angel. And guys, I'm not lying. For my son to tell me that I'm an angel, and he tell me he seen it in my eyes, that means something because I have been through a lot. I have been through a lot, guys. I have been through so much. And I always had a righteous, pure heart. I never let my situation get the best of me. I always stayed focused. I always was determined. I always had faith. You know, I just always believed. No matter whatever situation that came along in life, you know, I never let it get me to the point that, you know, I didn't stay focused. And it's been a hard, long road, you know, and I'm just walking up to my house, guys. But it's been a long, hard road. I actually made this a whole segment, didn't know, but when it's been a long, hard road, guys, and you sit and you realize and you look at it and you like, I actually made it. I made it to who I am today. I made it, you know, you know, I just made it. It's, you know, no suffering, no pain, you know, and I don't know. I get lost in thoughts, guys, and I'm sorry. It's just the reality of it. It's, you know, getting out and being here is amazing. It's such a blessing, and I didn't realize to where I'm at and that I came so far. You know, I haven't realized how far I came. And when I sit down and really think about it, you know, I'm like, wow, I came a long way. But sometimes it don't. You know, like I said, I'm a stay-at-home dad, and we have all these bills coming up. And it's like, you know, the pressure is on my fiance, and I have health problems, you know. And I never did let it stop me, but I avoided taking care of my health. And those of you who don't know what carpal tunnel is, carpal tunnel syndrome is a real, you know, it's a real, it's a real painful experience. You can't sleep, you constant pain, numbness, and I finally took care of it, which was February of this year. And as you can see, that's the scar, but I have to get it on my right hand. And it's painful. I can't even hold a pen. I can't even hold, like,